And so we decided that we needed to dualize that road. That's why we're dualizing the 169-kilometer road between Asaba and Ughelli, and taking advantage of the Warri-Port Harcourt dualization, so that when you import your goods through Warri Port, it will take you less than 2 hours to get to Onitsha market. I know a lot of Onitsha traders import a lot of goods. So instead of them bringing their goods through Apapa or other ports, they can just do it through our ports in the state. The other road we are developing is the Ugbenu Cocoa Road to link the cocoa export free trade zone. There are so many other roads that we are doing for economic reasons. Now, our fourth strategy is that of ICT. Because for investors to come today, you must have adequate ICT. So we are building our ICT park very close to Asaba here. Fortunately, NCC has also taken interest, and they've started constructing their own component of the ICT park. And then we also designated some areas that people can come, like bringing your portfolio and just establishing your industry. And what are those areas? The areas we call the industrial business parks, where our responsibility as a state government is to put infrastructure in those parks: power, sewage, water, roads. So investors will just allocate an area for you, and you just come and put your investment. So these are some of the things we are doing. Some are still on the planning stage. Some we are already, of course, executing. But of course, finally, urbanization, trying to make our urban areas more habitable. Now, what has happened so far? Because of some of the strategic things we have put in place, we have been able to attract some investors. Today, we have our partnership with Obasanjo Farms Nigeria Limited, in which we have one of the biggest poultry plants, poultry that is coming up at Ogwashuku already. They are producing almost 2,000 crates of eggs per day. They are installing processing plants. And the critical thing about that poultry is that it is not just ending in the farm itself, but it is also going down the line, the value chain, to get to the single poultry farmer, encouraging them, working with them, so that they can first of all get feeds, because the farm also produces feeds. They can get feeds from the farm, and eventually they can even bring their chicken to process in this farm. And when they are processed, they can package them, and in 15 minutes they can get to the Asaba airport and can be flown away. So that is the kind of linkage that we are talking about in poultry. And then we also have the biggest leisure park that is already under construction at a place called Oleri in Udu Local Government Council. It's a private investment. The private investors have $240 million they are putting into the place. We are partnering with them by giving the land, creating access roads to the place. In fact, we have completed the bridge. There's a bridge that we needed to construct. We have completed it. The road is already getting to the site. The median between the FRU and DSC we are doing to beautify the area. By the time we finish with that leisure park, it will employ over 5,000 persons. And apart from this, we also have, through the federal government, through NNPC, Ministry of Petroleum, investors who have shown interest in the cocoa export free trade zone. We have 3 interests. 1 is a gas gathering facility, 2 is a petrochemical plant, and 3 a fertilizer plant. These are investments of about $16 billion. We are working with NNPC very closely to ensure that the investment take off on ground. And we have a lot of other investors that are coming to the state, making inquiries. And I'm happy that today, even our chairman, a respected son of the soil of Delta, has told us his investment, the investment that is bringing to the state. And I want to thank him very sincerely for remembering his state. Because I must confess that one of the saddest days of my life was when I saw you in a particular state. I don't want to mention the state, Mr. President, going to commission your fruit processing factory. And you were talking on television, and I looked at you. I said, this man must come back to Delta. But if you can invest that in another states, you must also, because we also have this kind of fruits that we have there. So apart from the ones you have talked about, we will also talk on the fruit processing factory, so that you can also come and invest in your state. Now, having said all this, yes, these will attract investors, but these are long-term projects. These are long-term issues that our unemployed youth, our women cannot wait for before getting engaged. We need to do something that we call the low-hanging fruits so that they can get engaged. And which are these areas? Areas of agriculture, microcredit, tourism, solid minerals. These are areas that we can quickly put things on ground for our people to get engaged. And so for us as a state, we have paid a lot of attention on the microcredit scheme, because we believe that with the microcredit scheme we can grow our small and medium scale enterprises, and from those small and medium scale enterprises we can even get the large scale industries. That is our principle, that is our vision, that is what we are pursuing. So far from the documentary you have seen, we have done a lot in the microcredits area. In the area of agriculture, we have also tried to do something by encouraging our youth to go into farms. We've taken them to our training center at Songhai, trained them on various farm inputs, set them up either as single farmers or clusters. We have also tried to assist the existing farmers by helping them with fertilizers, other farming inputs to improve on their yield, both the quality and the quantity of their yield. But these are not enough, and I'm happy that a specialist in that area is here today to discuss it, because like he had told me, the way to go is large-scale farming. That will ensure that there's a value chain. I'll leave that to him when he comes up to speak. As for the microcredit scheme, we have done a lot. In our first 3 years, we're dealing with cooperatives. From this year, we are stepping it up to ensure that some of the micro businesses that were built up, we move them up to small scale industries, so that they can start exporting and also employing more. Also, at the small scale area, we have also as a state consciously said we must invest and promote some small businesses. You know, over the years there has been changes in policy. Initially, government was involved in creating industries, but later government said no, we'll just provide the environment. But we found that providing the environment might not just be enough. So we have now put up our strategy of injecting some funds in creating some businesses, but government is not involved in the management of those businesses. So that is the stage we are in now. It's being handled by our Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Strategically, we are funding 6 cassava processing industries, and of course 4 fish mills. And we are giving the commissioner a target that before the end of the year, these industries must be up. Because there's a lot of fishing going on in Delta. and other parts of Nigeria, but they have problem with fish meals. Well, I mean with feeds, fish feeds. We have to be importing from other countries, even from other West African countries, and that is not good enough. So we are putting up our own feed mills. Now, those are some of the things we are doing, apart from the social things like transportation, in which we are giving the people buses, tricycles, big buses, and all that. But we sat down and we said, we must look at these micro, small, and medium scale enterprises. How do we improve on what we have now? How do we go forward? That is why we have called all of you here, especially the experts, to put our head together to see how we move forward in this area. But before this, just last week, I held a town hall meeting with a lot of our micro, small, and medium scale enterprises, investors. And a lot of issues were raised at the town hall meetings. And some of those issues, I believe, today will also be discussed. And what are some of those issues? Issues of human resource development. At that meeting, it was clear that we need to put a lot of emphasis on vocational skill development. They told us we are not doing enough in that area. 2, of course, the issue of infrastructure, which I have described, power and all that. Thirdly, is the issue of funding. At that meeting, a lot of the investors believe that our financial institutions should do a lot more in assisting this level of businesses to grow. There's so much government can do. There's a lot our financial institutions can do. And I'm quite glad that our chairman is still in the finance sector. I know, he was MD for so many years, and he said he should step aside. But I think he's more active outside now than when he was inside. And we have a lot of banks or bankers that are here. One thing I'm sure of is that our people have the right instinct for businesses. We excel in so many things. We have excelled in financial institutions. We have excelled in the media. We have excelled in sports. Of course, you know the number of times we have won the National Sports Festival, that we have even forgotten the number we have won. Now we just allow states to take it when we want them to. When we want to take it back, we will take it back. We are going to take it back this year. We have excelled in a lot of areas. And I believe we can also excel in businesses at the lower level. Our people want to be business owners, creating and adding value in what they are doing. I have seen their enthusiasm. I have seen their commitment. But, and this is the big but, to succeed demands more than resilience or spirit or interest. The challenge of infrastructure deficiency is a big issue. The challenge of funding is a big issue. As an administration, we are determined not to give up on supporting micro, small, and medium scale enterprises. We are determined to work with them through this long and tortuous journey. We are determined to ensure that they succeed. But we need help. They need help. They need assistance. I'm challenging the banking sector today to improve on their risk appetite. The banks simply have to come strongly into this partnership. Ultimately, there's so much government can do in terms of supporting with funds and building the right infrastructure. If the finance sector does not play their own part, there's very little the states can do. This is the time to show more energy and creativity in engaging with micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises. I don't want to give any lecture today. I believe I have said enough. Let me once more welcome everyone and declare this program officially open. Thank you very much.